Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this beautiful occasion, I will tell about the phonological rules. But before that, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Mufdatul Rafiko. I'm from E class. Let me begin the explanation. The first, I will tell about the definition of phonological rules. Phonological rules are a method of describing the way in which individual sounds are produced in spoken languages. These rules are written out in a specialist notation that codifies the way in which a sound or group of sounds is altered by appearing in a specific linguistic context. Phonological rules vary between languages and dialects, and they reflect the common pronunciation habits of various linguistic groups. By studying the way that a particular phonological rule operates in a spoken language, linguists are able to determine the physiological and neurological mechanism that translate mental language into spoken language. Yes, I will continue with explain the function of phonological rules. Phonological rules have a number of functions. Among them are the following. The first one is change feather values. The second function is add new feature, distinctive or non-distinctive. And the next is delete segment, contraction rules in English. And the next is add segments, schwa insertion in plural and past tense. And the next is reorder segments, metathesis. And the next is phonological rules often refer to entire classes of sounds rather than to the individual sounds. And the last is phonological rules are generated to account for what occurs in a language. And the next is types of phonological rules. The first type is assimilation, making a sound more like another in the same or next word in continuous utterance is called assimilation. Manner of assimilation. There are three manners of assimilation. The first manner is progressive assimilation. The phoneme that comes first affects the one that comes after it. For the example, those your, those yours, those yours. The z sounds affect the ya sounds. The next is regressive assimilation. The sounds assimilate are influenced by the following sounds. For the example, bright color, bright color, bright color. The k sounds in the bright influence the k sounds in the color. And last is collision assimilation. Sounds A and sounds B becomes sounds C. is, z, t, d, z. And if adding the yah sounds becomes the z sounds, sounds, and z, z sounds, and becomes the ch, ch, sound, and z, z, z sounds. For the example, televised plus ear become television, television. And the next is form of assimilation. There are two forms of assimilation. The first one is full assimilation. A sound may change and become like another, and usually occur in the first speech. For the example, in the phrase that place becomes that place, it is clear that the th sounds is totally or completely assimilated to the p sounds and becomes identical to the one in the next word. And the next is partial assimilation. Partial assimilation is the sounds becomes only more similar but not identical. For the example, in the phrase handbag is pronounced as handbag, or mother becomes mama. It is tiger becomes identical to the target. Yes, the next is types of assimilation. The first type is assimilation of place. Assimilation of place is when a sound changes its place of articulation to another place. And there are three assimilation of place. The first one is alveolar stops assimilation. The sounds becomes k sounds. For the example, that car become that car, and the sounds become p sounds. For the example, that that man becomes that man. And the next is the sounds becomes k sounds or b sounds. For the example, bad girl become bad girl, and bad boy become bad boy. And the next is n sounds become sounds or sounds. For the example, 10 Ks become 10 Ks, and 10 pens become 10 pens. And the next place is in alveolar fricative assimilation. For the example, the alveolar fricative sounds may become post-alveolar fricative sounds. This, for the example, this shoe, this shoe become this shoe, And the next is, and the third place is alveolar syllabic nasal assimilation. For n sounds could become bilabial sounds when preceded by a bilabial. For the example, open could become album, and n sound become velar in preceded by a velar plosive in the same word and followed by a consonant in the same or next word or by a pause. For the example, bacon, bacon becomes bacon. And the next type of assimilation is assimilation of manner. Assimilation of manner refers to two neighboring sounds becoming similar in the manner of articulation. For the example, this side and good night. From good night become good night. And the third types of assimilation is assimilation of voice. There are two assimilation of voice. The first one is assimilation of voice across morpheme boundaries. This type of assimilation is represented in noun plural marker, the possessive and the singular present tense, which always agree in voicing with preceding obstruent consonant or regressive. For the example, dogs. S sounds becomes as sounds to agree in voicing with g sounds. And cats, cats. S sounds become S sounds to agree in voicing with the sound. A sound is pronounced as if preceded by a voiceless non-sibilant sound. For the example, cat, and pronounced as z sounds if preceded by a voiced non-sibilant sounds. For the example, dog, and pronounced as is if preceded by a sibilant sound. For the example, judge, judge become judges. And the second is assimilation of voice across word boundaries. Uh, it is never the case that a word final voiceless consonant become voiced because of a word initial voice consonant. Thus, v sounds becomes f sound because the following sound t or g is voiceless. For the example, have to becomes have to. Of of course become of course. And now I will tell a little explanation about the dissimilation. Dissimilation is opposite of assimilation. Dissimilation is when a sound changes one of its features to become less similar to an adjacent sound. Usually, to make the two sounds more distinguishable. In other words, a phonological process that changes feature values of segments to make them less similar. Yes, the next type of phonological rules is insertion. Insertion is a process inserting a consonant or vowel or segment in some word in the root of word. The insertion process is also called epenthesis. Epenthesis occur frequently both in legal and in lay language. The addition of an E before the T in speciality is an example. The pronunciation of Chevrolet as Chevrolet is a result of epenthesis, as is the pronunciation content thus for contentious. For the example, in certain varieties of English, a vowel breaks up the closer, closer, epenthesis. Film becomes film in Ireland, Scotland, and South Africa. And the other example, a particularly strange but well-known kind of insertion is the famous intrusive or linking error of British and some dialects of American English. For the example, idea becomes idea. Idea is becomes ideas. In other cases, the R reappear even when there was never an error sounds there is the first place. For the example, rear and there are two more types of insertion. The first is prothesis. The second is epenthesis. The former refers to the insertion of a segment at the beginning, while the latter refers to the insertion inside a word. For the example, Snoopy plus a sounds become snappy. Yes, I will repeat. Snappy plus a sound becomes a snappy. That is prothesis. And glass plus plural a sound becomes glasses. That is epenthesis. Yes, I think that's all for my explanation about the phonological rules. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.